Okay, so this is Rein here
and
from Olive, yeah, you from VaskaFilms, and today we're going to be taking a look at some keying with another shot of invasion that's not the one that I use all the time, and it's, you know, I'm on a tutorial frenzy, I don't know what you call it, but making a lot of tutorials anyway, because keying is fun. This is probably like a pretty basic tutorial because I don't even know that much about keylight, but I can do pretty good keys, and yeah. So we're gonna be using keylight, which is like, you know,
and Olive's knowledge.
Olive's knowledge, exactly. To do so, I have this clip here from Invasion, and I'm just gonna say this again to annoy everyone who watches all the VaskaFilms videos. To get this nice widescreen angle, you do 1920 by 800 if you like that. Depends. With this film, we're definitely gonna do this because it looks cool. But let me turn this down. Tough. And what you see in this clip is just Olive over here.
Yes.
Wearing the same shirt that we just found out that he wears in Monster Machine.
No, not
Invasion. Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay.
Invasion. And he wears it in The Wizard 3. It's like a famous. We're like advertising for La Garza here. And here we have Michael, who is an actor that decided, well, you know, a friend
decided not to come later.
Well, you know. Anyway. For some reason, it speeds up my videos. Put in the comments if you know why it does this. But anyway, I'm just gonna take this segment, where, you know, like, it actually, well, you know, I'm not gonna waste the time of the tutorial on this. So basically,
then speed it up.
Okay. Okay, you know what? Ready, set, okay. You know,
we have a slow computer.
We have a slow computer. Okay.
Very slow.
Then what you're going to do is you can have your clip selected, right? Well, no, sorry, not that. Just select it, and then go in here and search for key light.
It's not that confusing.
And key light will come out, because that won't be too. But you notice that when I first started After Effects, I searched for green screen, because that's what I knew it was called. Nothing showed up. I'm like, how do you do that? But then I found out how to use keylight. So keylight is like a plugin, but it's like it comes with After Effects, but I don't think they made it. Kind of like a free plugin. Anyway, it's really good, and it's really like, I mean, some people get Primat, but like, man, you must be really, 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 really professional to get expensive keying plugins like that, because I think this one's just
comes free with After Effects.
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to add it like that, and you notice that, you know, it doesn't do anything. By the way, it's probably called key light, because keying is like, you know, keying is the same word for green screen.
We all get that, Rain.
And light is, yeah. And so you notice that the screen
color.
Yeah, I know, you know.
Fancy word to say
it's defaultly set at black, but there's something that you have to learn about keylight that I just learned like a while ago.
Black, white, or some shades of gray.
So it can't key anything in this range. Actually, I don't know why it's. Yeah. So any shade of gray, white, or black, it doesn't key for some reason. If you want to do that, you either set it to screen, add, but those look pretty bad, or you try linear color key, which is another color keying. For some reason it's called color key, even though it keys, but it's just like a very simple version of, like, you know, it's not very, like, you know, you can't get very good keys out of it. It just makes everything look really weird. But it works for like stock footage. But anyway, now we're going to be using keylights. So then, like most other color selections, you can try to go in here and find the shade of green. But, you know, it's probably not a good idea. So what you can do is hit this little eyedropper thingy and select a color close to your actor. Or your actors. And right now you can see that it's, you know, not very good at all. And if you just leave it like that, you're going to have a really bad film because the guy is half transparent here. So what you're going to want to do is change your mode to status. Now this is going to show you what it's keying. Right now this is like, since if you don't know how the status works, this is a terrible key, and Kalev would agree with me because
Yes.
well, except for Kalev is pretty nicey, but the idea here is that you can mess with the clip black, okay, and the clip white to make your actors appear white and the background to appear black. So I like to start with the clip black first and get it to where it looks kind of like that'll do, and then turn down the white until your actors look kind of, you know, white. But you notice that if you go down too much, then it flips, and when you go to status, it's weird. I mean, final result. So you don't want to do that. So I think this is at 50. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that's okay, but we're getting kind of hard edges here and kind of black edges. So if you're gonna do for black screens, like background, that's gonna look fine. Also, you notice that there's something there that was because in the original clip there was kind of a, you know, bright spot there, and I'll show you to get rid of that later. But if you know After Effects, you'll know how to do that anyway. But I like to turn this on because it's kind of a brightish background. Basically, it's easy to see what you're painting and stuff like that. So, yeah. Then, so the only thing I'm going to be using is this screen matte here. The inside and outside matte and foreground edge color correction, you're going to have to find some other tutorial that does that because I don't even use that. So, but I'm just saying, it works pretty well for me. So, then the next thing is this screen shrink and grow. Now, what you can do to what this does is, like, basically, if you turn it up, it gives everyone a big old outline, which is not very good. Well, I mean, for a real key, that's terrible. But it's just interesting that if you're gonna make like a music video or something, that's actually kind of a cool effect. I have this bulgy thing around people. But anyway, I'm just gonna set that at the black default. But I'm going to set that back to 0. And what you can do then is go into the negatives, and then you start to shrink down everyone. And of course, you don't want to do it that much. You probably just want to go for like -5. Let's see. So that cuts off maybe a little too much. So then -3. -2. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So then, this is the last thing that I really use on key light is the screen softness. Now this is kind of like the mask feathering, you know, kind of deja vu, looks a lot like mask feathering. So you can do some kind of cool effects
for like dreams.
For like, kind of? Well, I don't know. I don't know what you would use that for, but like what you can do is just turn it up like to 3 maybe, and it softens it. That's actually way too much, but like 1 maybe, kind of, maybe that's even too much. I don't know. In this key, it might want something. Yeah. So that's basically what I did. The other thing that I usually do when I'm keying, you can also use this keying. There's a anyway. There is some stuff that you can key clean, but I'm not very good at that. I'm not gonna show you how to do it because I'm probably gonna do it wrong.
Called key clean.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Then the other thing that you might want to do. This shot isn't particularly bad, but some shots have a ton of grain. Like, it's just really grainy. And when you key for some reason, it kind of stands out a little more. So I'm just going to RAM preview and see if we're getting any of that grain. To see if we can have an example. Ready? Yeah, we kind of are. So, There's an effect called, let's see if you can guess it. Remove grain. It's pretty, creative name. And I'm not really sure what this box does, but you have to change it to preview, to final output, and then it just tries to, sometimes it looks really bad, but if you turn it off, you can see that all these details here on his shirt kind of go away because it doesn't know what the grain is and what's not. But, it worked really well for some of the shots in this film because they were like really grainy. And then later you can decide, well, in this frame he doesn't look very good, so then you could like, I'm maybe not gonna spend some percent, but you could like mask him out with a separate layer, and then turn his screen. Oh, I'm tired. Screen. You can turn the screen shrink like up a little more if you want it. But basically that's kind of the idea of keying, because of course keying is really important. And I'm gonna do one more clip in a sec, because I mean that's nice, but I'm gonna show another clip. Oh yeah, and I told you I was gonna show you how to remove that thing. So you probably could have guessed this, but you just, well, one sec. I usually like to keep my thing a little zoomed out. So anyway, then you just mask it out, and then by default it makes that the only thing available, but then you just hit M there and the mask path shows up. You also can hit MM for all the mask ability and F for feather, stuff like that. But then you change the mode to subtract, so that means, slow computer, that it will not this part of the layer like is not going to show up. So but you just got to make sure that your actor's head doesn't get in that spot, or else you're going to have problems. But now let's just go ahead and put in another clip just for fun, because okay, so this is one of the robot dudes, and
it's really easy to key out because it's just solid.
Yeah, so this is stock footage of a robot.
Awesome.
Yeah, a very cool robot. I don't remember the guy's name who made this robot on YouTube, but it's really cool. So, key light, and then select green. And with stock footage, it almost always works really nicely the first time, but you still have to work with some of the stuff.
Turn on status.
Yeah, but you should probably, unless you're really good at this, turn on status, check this, and yeah. But yeah, so that's just like beginning keying, pretty much. Basics, easy stuff that easy. So yeah, that's keying.
Yay!